Hey everybody, it's Double B Billy Boo Joe with another installment of WGS-TV right here on the WGS YouTube channel. Money in the Bank is over, done, in the books. How did it go? What happened? What did I think of it? You're about to find out right here, right now. Now, we'll put up with SmackDown's Money in the Bank ladder match. And I will say this. I love ladder matches. I've always loved Money in the Bank. I'm not just talking about the pay-per-view. I'm talking about the Money in the Bank gimmick. The match in itself. The ladder match. With all the action. All the intensity. You know, bad things do go wrong. You know, things can go wrong. Things happen. You know, people are human. Alright? Now, with that being said, we did open up with SmackDown's Money in the Bank. Now, I originally thought Wade Barrett, to be honest with you guys, was going to get it. You know, we had Wade Barrett, Sin Cara, we had Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel, Cody Rhodes, Ted DiBiase, Sheamus. Yeah, that was it. And Daniel Bryan. Now, you know, what I said on my radio show was it was really hard to pick who was going to win. Because, you know, we have so many people in this match. You know, there are people, you know, that could be quite obvious on who's going to get the push. Other times, it's just not that obvious who's going to get it. And I believe this is a case. You know, I'm not going to take away the fact the SmackDown Money in the Bank match was entertaining. It is. It was very entertaining. It was a wonderful match. You know. But then again, you know, I'm a little biased because I love watching ladder matches. Which, in turn, is why I have the ladder match DVD. Now, a couple of things that did happen I want to talk about real quick. Sheamus powerbombed Sin Cara through a ladder. I'm not entirely sure if that was supposed to happen or if the ladder was supposed to break. But we did see Sin Cara had to get taken out on a stretcher. So Sin Cara was completely eliminated out of the equation. The one guy that won it, I did not anticipate him getting the push to be Money in the Bank. Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan. Yes, Daniel Bryan. He wears the Viking helmet. Or no, he doesn't. But he still comes out to Ride of the Valkyries. So, I'm going to give WWE their props on this one. I did not see this coming. I did not see the fact that they were going to give it to Daniel Bryan. Now, the next match was kind of a little of a... You know, it takes your breath away a little bit in more than one sense because it's the Divas. You know, they're hot to look at, but then again, it's WWE Divas, so you get disappointed. You know, you're happy to see them, but you know that their match is going to be crap no matter what. And that's, you know, Kelly, and it might have been... I'm thinking it was Nikki Bella. It might have been Brie Bella. I'm not sure. Because I know we already had a match with Kelly and Brie Bella before. I'm not entirely positive, but... Anyway... it was a short match. Wasn't really too impressed with it. Kelly did win, but again, it's WWE Divas. I mean, you know, if it doesn't involve Melina, if it doesn't involve Gail Kim, if it doesn't involve Beth Phoenix, Natalya, you know, I'm not really interested in it because, you know, Kelly is hot. She is gorgeous. Yes, despite what Randy Orton has said in the past about her. You know, I am not a big fan of hers, you know, even though I do love seeing her. She is, you know, extremely hot. The Bella Twins is basically a 2-for-1 special. I should put the one up finger when I said that. Anyway. You know, they're beautiful too. But it's just like Jazz said on WGS Radio. Eye candy. That's all it is. Are you expecting a good wrestling match out of Kelly and Nikki Bella? I wasn't. And I didn't. We didn't get one. Then we had the big match between Mark Henry and Big Show. Now, for one thing, I didn't anticipate this match going at least over 10 minutes. It felt like it did, though, because, both these men, probably aren't physically able to go over 10 minutes. Now, I thought, it would have been a lot more interesting to have Big Show go over on Mark Henry, just to see how Mark Henry would react, considering the fact he's trying this new angry gimmick that he gets pissed off every time he loses. But we didn't see that way. Mark Henry got the win, and then what happened after the match was Mark Henry put a chair on Big Show's ankle. I'm thinking he's going to do the Pillmanizer. We all know what the Pillmanizer is, the stomp on the chair. Instead, he Vader bombs the chair, and then next thing you know, we have Big Show. He's trying to sell it. Oh, let go of my ego! God damn it! Oh. I thought Paul White would have done a better job selling it than going, oh! I wasn't impressed. I apologize. I do have a big respect for Paul White ever since I saw his DVD, but I'm just a little let down because he did not do a good job selling that. Maybe screaming a little bit louder, he could have sold it better, but, going, oh. Well, anyway, we had the Raw Money in the Bank, and you know what? A lot of people are, I for one was hoping that the Raw Money in the Bank wasn't going to be a letdown, because SmackDown Money in the Bank was really, really good. And Raw on the Money in the Bank did not disappoint. You know why? Because we saw a lot of crazy shit happen in that match. How about, for one, Evan Bourne on top of the ladder doing the airborne, the shooting star press onto every single person, well, except Rey Mysterio, in the Money in the Bank match. Everybody was doing like the Demolition Derby and all, ho. It's like, how high can you get? But anyway, I thought it was real good. They did a lot of good stuff here. Had Alberto Del Rio and Rey Mysterio at the top. Del Rio snatches the mask off of Rey Mysterio. Basically, Mysterio had to cover his face like this, and then he jumped to another ladder, and next thing you know, the ladder collapses on Del Rio and Mysterio. Next thing you know, we get up. Del Rio is cut like right here and right here in his chest, bleeding from that. And I do also want to make one point. Del Rio did win the match, but one thing I do want to make light on is, well, not make light on, comment on rather, is what I was trying to say, is the Miz came down and his knee, he was like hanging off the case, and then he fell down, and his knee just gave way on him. And then when they panned over to Miz on the floor, his knee was just an absolute mess. I mean, it looked like his kneecap just moved about 6 inches downward, and that looked really, really bad. I don't know about you guys, but I'm thinking Miz is legitimately injured. I think he's hurt legit. And we could be seeing Miz gone anywhere between possibly 3 to 6 months, because his knee looked... Think about it. If you watch Money in the Bank, you saw Miz trying to run down there. He had to hobble. Miz is legit hurt. Miz is legitimately hurt, guys. I don't know what the exact damage is to his knee, the exact specifications, what exactly happened. All I know is Miz came down, his knee buckled, his knee is screwed. I mean, his knee just looked really, really bad, and I think that's bad for the WWE, because Miz is a top heel in their company, and to lose him right now, especially before one of their trademark pay-per-views, SummerSlam, that's bad. That's bad. He might have been losing Alex Riley left and right. It's to put the kid over, is what they're doing. And then to lose him at this time, especially when you're about 3 to 3 weeks away from your trademark pay-per-view SummerSlam, that's bad. That's really bad for the company. You know, but it's also bad for Miz. I feel bad for him. He's a real good heel for the WWE, and he just looked like he was in pain, a ton of pain. So, but Del Rio did win the match, guys. So now we have SmackDown's Money in the Bank is Daniel Bryan, and Raw's Money in the Bank is Alberto Del Rio, or Alberto Del Cuivo! Anyway, first title match of the night is Christian and Randy Orton, and of course if Randy Orton gets disqualified, then Christian becomes the World Heavyweight Champion according to the stipulations. Now, match quality wise, match entertainment wise, very well done match. Very well done match. Both guys worked the crowd greatly. A couple of times it was a botch. I don't know if, it looked like a botch to me on a couple of moves that they did. I'm not sure. I'm not going to judge too well because, Randy Orton and Christian are that good. Towards the way they finished the match, it was Christian spitting in Randy Orton's mouth, and Orton got so infuriated, not only did he pummel Christian, when Christian got up, he low-blowed him, kicked him south of the border, splitting the old uprights. Right in front of the referee DQ'd him, and Christian became the new world champion. Still didn't stop Randy Orton from beating the shit out of Christian on the outside and giving him not one but 2 RKOs. I think on the first one, there was, the table was supposed to break. It didn't. And I don't know what Randy Orton cut his leg on, but he did cut his leg because I did see a splatter of blood coming from his leg. So I'm not sure what it might have been on a monitor or something, because nothing was removed from the table. None of the coverings, none of the monitors, nothing. So I don't know what it was that Orton cut his leg on, but I do know this. Orton went back and RKO'd him for a second time. We're all thinking, that he's supposed to put him through the table, but the table still did not break. But this was an opportune moment. We were all betting. It was me, Ashley, Nathan, Rev, and Rick. We were basically all my WGS team. We were all betting 100% opportune moment to have them bring Daniel Bryan in, cash it in, beat Christian, and have Daniel Bryan as your new World Heavyweight Champion. They didn't do it. They didn't do it. It would have played up to Christian's gimmick, that there's a conspiracy against him. But they didn't play it. They didn't play it that way. They sure didn't. So they let Christian have his moment. So now Christian is indeed the World Heavyweight Champion via disqualification. Via disqualification. And now the match everybody has been looking forward to. Cena and CM Punk WWE Championship. Of course, with it being in Chicago, Illinois, we're going to have CM Punk go out first and get the big pop from the crowd. He's the hometown favorite. Come on! I mean, you have to be a complete idiot not to do that, to play up the crowd like that. I mean, they did it with in 2006 for ECW's One Night Stand with RVD and Cena. Basically, RVD in his home territory in New York for ECW. I mean, come on. Really great match, back and forth. Matchup went in excess of 35 minutes, y'all. 35, close to 40 minutes. At one point, we had Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis out there. That was John Laurinaitis, for those of you who didn't know who was out there. And, Cena saw that, and, he had the STF on Punk. And then McMahon was going out there, was signaling like this to, the ring bell. Basically, it's what everybody on YouTube had been talking about, about the Chicago screw job. Everybody was thinking, oh, it's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And Cena let the STF go, clocked Laurinaitis right in the face, and John Cena said, no way, not going to happen. But be that as it may, Cena runs back into the ring and runs right into a GTS. Punk pins him. 1, 2, 3. Punk is the new WWE champion. Vince McMahon gets on the headset, says, cut the music. Have Alberto Del Rio come out here, cash in Money in the Bank. Del Rio runs out there, and before he gets the opportunity to cash in his Money in the Bank contract on Punk, Punk kicks Del Rio back to Mexico. Literally. I mean, he just flat out kicked the queef out of the king of the queefos, Alberto Del Quifo, before he had the opportunity to cash in Money in the Bank, and then next thing you know, CM Punk's at the guardrail with the title, doing like this. Vince McMahon blows it away. So, with that being said, you know, really hard to pick match of the night. I mean, we had SmackDown Money in the Bank, Raw Money in the Bank, and then we had the WWE Championship. That would have to be my top 3 matches. So I'm gonna have to go with, you know, instead of a match of the night, my top 3 matches, because I can't pick over each one. So my top 3 matches are SmackDown Money in the Bank, Raw Money in the Bank, and the WWE Championship, John Cena versus CM Punk. Those are my 3 favorites. I'm not gonna consider Kelly and one of the Bellas, because for one thing, was that even billed as one of the matches? Was that even promoted as one of the matches in the Bank? No, it wasn't. I guarantee you, it wasn't. Big Show, Mark Henry. Christian and Randy Orton. I would consider it to be a really good match, but I'm tired of seeing the same thing, to be honest with you guys. It's been entertaining, but repetitive. 2 times, it's alright. 3 times, 4 times, that's when I start to lose interest. So, for those of you who saw Raw Money in the Bank, Raw Money in the Bank, the entire pay-per-view Money in the Bank, what was your favorite match of the night? Or what was your favorite moment of the night? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Also, remember to also subscribe to the channel here on the WGS. And with that being said, I am Double B Boudreaux saying thank you very much for watching, and have a great night, everybody.